Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm gonna review for you um, a registrar service that is a bit popular in the free domain industry, and there's a lot of questions also that I want to address in this video for Freenom.com, and along with how we can get a free domain name from Freenom. So if you're interested with that, keep watching. So first things first, let's create a free account from Freenom. And by the way, before that, let me show you first what are the um, free domains here that are available for you to register. So these are the extensions that you can register. It's a .tk, .ml, .ga, .cf, and .gq. So I'm going to select this .cf here, and if you want to learn more, just go ahead and check out the services here and the free and paid domains. So they have here also I also want to recommend you to check out their terms of service in regards to their free domain, but we will probably just discuss that later on within the video. So first is their website, though, is a bit familiar. I believe they are using WHMCS billing system. So if you're not familiar with that, just go to just check out the link below, as I am using that as well as my billing system, which is very, very good. I believe it's the best billing system that you can use for your business. So to register an account, I believe they don't let you register. Oh yes, you can only sign in. So to register, you have to buy a service from them. So we can do that by registering a free domain. So if you don't want to pay anything, so let's just register. So let's try to Mawix. Let's see F. Okay. So it's not available. So maybe mawix.tk. So it's available. So the next thing is it's already selected. You can though use other other extensions here. Limited to only this 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also they have a very, very low price, guys, when it comes to their um domain, I mean the regular extensions as well. But I will show you in another video as well where can you get the cheapest domains. But usually their .net is the cheapest, um, based on my experience. I do have an existing Freenom account, but I will just show you. Um, I will just register a demo one so that I can show you how you can register step by step. But I do have all of my .net and um, free domains that I use for testing is from Freenom. So um, if you want to use Freenom, um, there's nothing wrong with that. They have I've been with them since day one, I believe, 2016. Excuse me. I still do have my personal domain is from Freenom, and also my other business site. I do have I do have two important domains here from Freenom. So so you you would know that it is a trusted website. I mean, a provider for me. So let's continue on checking out the free domain here. So let's just select here, make sure it's selected, and click on the checkout here. So once you're here, when you're redirected here, click on the three months at free. We will select the 12 months at free duration. So you can register up to 1 year and then just renew it manually. But you are only able to renew it within the 14 days, I believe 14 days. So the next thing is to continue, and don't worry for those DNS. We will just manage it later on after we have purchased the free domain. So once you're done, so now as you can see, it's $0. You can use to register with your social accounts, but I will just use um, my own account. I mean let me see here, my email. So verification link sent to your email. The link is valid only for 24 hours. Go to your email inbox and click on the link. So let's go to my inbox here. So as you can see here, we have the verification email. So just click on that and copy this. Let's go here, paste it out, paste the link into the browser, and you will be redirected to add your details. So now we now have the order confirmation. So you can save this so that you can have um, this can have that handy. So click here to go to your client area. So now as you can see, we already have access to our account. So the next thing is that's how you can register and get a free domain. So the two here is done. Okay, so the next is how we can manage the name server. So um, you can go here to the drop down services and go to your domains first, my domains. So as you can see, I already have an active um, domain name with Freenom with the .dk extension. So normally you can just use this anywhere and it should work based on my experience. So let's go ahead and address how you can manage the name server. So to manage the name servers, and here is their name servers. So you are using the default Freenom name servers, and if you want to use a different or a custom name servers that your web hosting has provided for you, let's say for example, if you're using Cloudflare, so you can add your Cloudflare here or any other services. Like for example, if you're hosting your if you have an account from Namecheap Hosting, so their name servers, you can add it here. Usually the name servers are something like this. So for example, NS1, Mavix.com, NS2, yeah, something like that. So and then you just save the name server. So let me show you. Go to this website here to check your name server. So currently we are still using, because I have not changed the name servers yet. I have not saved this custom name servers yet. So it should use the Freenom name servers for now. So let's check out the current status of our domain. So let's go to the NS here for this domain. Let's check what is the current name server that it is using. It's not showing anything. Maybe because it's still new. Maybe because it's still new, it hasn't yet propagated. So maybe in a few hours or a few minutes, it will just show here. But so we'll probably need to wait, and I will. So as you can see, this is how it looks like. So since it's a new registered domain, so it will show something like this. But once you've waited a few minutes, so as you can see, some of the other some other locations it is already okay. So here is the default Freenom name servers. So when we change that to our hosting account, which is, I do have an existing one that I've created with my own server, cPanel server. So this is my name server. This is my custom name server within my server. So this is what I'm gonna use. So just save it. So usually if you register a hosting account from any other providers, like for example HostGator, Namecheap, I use Contabo. You can You can check out Contabo from, I'll put a link in the description below, and the other recommended hosting that I've used. You can check it out, and most of them, um, actually all of them should provide you a name server, a default name server, and you can use that here. So in case you're using a server, which leads us to the next question here that we will be addressing. So that's how you can manage the name servers. We're done with that, but we will need to, by the way, check that if it did work. The same thing earlier, it should need a bit more time to propagate, so maybe it will need a bit more time. Maybe just let's just wait a few minutes. It should show the new name server later on. So let me check here. So, but anyways, I'm not going to wait for that instead. So it normally it should when you already added the name servers, just wait for a few minutes and then just refresh this one, and then it should work. It should show the new name server or the new custom name server that you have added into your Freenom domain. So the next thing is to manage a DNS hosting. So to manage a DNS hosting, this is a different one. Um, to manage the DNS hosting, you need to point your name servers, your Freenom domain, to the Freenom name servers. They do provide us with, as you can see here, Freenom DNS hosting. So let me show you here. So this is the interface, but as you can see, um, in order to use Freenom DNS, please set your name servers to default Freenom name servers. So this is what they're talking about. So if you're using a custom name server from your web hosting provider and you want to use the Freenom DNS, you need to first use the default name server from Freenom and save that, because the DNS hosting is hosted within their server. So that's how you can manage the DNS management. It's the same thing with, just think about it. This is just the same thing with Cloudflare. So instead of managing your DNS from Cloudflare, you are managing it from Freenom. So just think about it like that. So the the difference is that Cloudflare has a lot of great services added when you host your DNS to them. You have a lot of security services for free. Um, Unlike Freenom, you only have the DNS that you can manage here. It's the same thing with other registrar. By the way, when you use Namecheap, I do use Namecheap and many other registrar. They do provide you with DNS management. Most of them only have basic ones, and personally, I use Cloudflare for myself. For all of my domains, I use Cloudflare. Some of them I don't use Cloudflare. Um, Depends upon the application that I use um, if it's not compatible with Cloudflare, but most of the time I use Cloudflare. I migrate my DNS hosting to Cloudflare. So yeah, so this is how it looks like um, this is how the DNS management interface of Freenom looks like. So to add your let me check here. To use this, let's say for example you have check here. Say for example you have a new server and you have the IP. Let's say the IP is 123.456.789.1. So that's the IP. So all you need to do, this is the IP of your server, and all you need to do is just if you want to point this IP or this server to your domain, and then just add the IP here, and I believe you can just leave this empty. So just save that one, or you can add more records and add www, which is the www what do you call that, alias cname, and add your domain. There are different ways you can do this, but personally for me, I use this kind of method. Let's say for example this one, or yeah, this is how I do this. So for example, I don't use for example, this, most of them use this um, like this, right? Adding the www, but it should be redundant because we already have this asterisk, which means that it's what do you call that? I forgot is the what is the name of this do you call that one? But anyway, it's just this. It's just think about it. It will point to all of the subdomains of your domain. So this one is pointing to the root domain, and then this one is pointing to all the subdomains that you will be creating or you will be publishing based on your root domain. So if you create a subdomain, it will automatically be pointed to your root domain. So that's how it works. So if you have other, let's say for example, if you're using cPanel, and all you need to do when you register your domain to cPanel or to your existing web host, um, there should be a DNS record that is automatically created by default within your control panel. So you can then just copy that here. So that's the different that's the difference when you're using Cloudflare. Because when you're using Cloudflare, um, if you add your domain to Cloudflare, they will automatically most of the time Cloudflare can identify your existing DNS records from your host, or from where your domain DNS is currently hosted. So it will automatically, so you don't have to really create this or add this on your own. But if you, to make sure that it will work within your, I mean, the settings in your DNS hosting interface to make sure that your domain will work or your website will work, just go to your DNS hosting provider. Most of the time, you can find it within your web hosting, and just go to the DNS and just copy all of the records to where you're hosting your DNS from though. So let's, for example, if you want to manage your DNS within Freenom or Cloudflare, then just copy all of those within your DNS management interface or provider. So yeah, that's it. So once this is done, let's just save this. Mm. Oh, so now I know. Freenom don't. So this is but this is the term, by the way, I forgot earlier. It's wildcard. So they don't, what do you call this? They don't support wildcards. So what we wanna do is to sorry. So for so what we want to do is to, if your DNS provider don't support wildcard, then you will need to manually add all of the subdomains that you will be using. So for example, this one. So .tk. This is the same with sorry, wildcard are not allowed. What's this? Name target. I did not use any wildcard. Probably because this is just this is let me use a different thing here. Yes. Let me get my IP, my server IP first. So now it's working. So the error might be because let me check if they allow wildcard. So they don't. So we have we have just retried to use wildcard. So Freenom don't allow wildcard. So what I did is instead of using wildcard, I just added the alias of www with a CNAME type of record and then the domain name, so that you can use the domain to your existing host and install your website there and use the domain. So another thing, there's an error earlier. If you can if you can remember, so when I use the excuse me, when I use the wrong let me show you instead a test IP. So as you can see here, that was a test IP, and this is a live one that I have. So they don't recognize the test IP. Actually, this is not test. This is just a random IP that I created. So they don't support it. So you need to add the correct one that is live. So yeah, that's how you can manage DNS hosting on Freenom. So we're done with that. So let's proceed to another question here, how to renew your domain name on Freenom. So to do that, you can go to here, renew domains. And as mentioned earlier, um, I've mentioned earlier that you can only renew your free domain. This is this is only for the free domains, okay? You can only renew them within 14 days. Um, within 14 days from the expiration date. So make sure to add a schedule on your calendar so that you don't miss the renewal of your free domain. So yeah, that's it. So I'll probably show you as well how you should be able to do that. It's just so you cannot do it here. So I cannot show you step by step, but it should be um, self-explanatory to renew it. When you renew it, it's just the same as when you register. So when you register, it should be something just the same. You will be redirected to the checkout page and you will pay for zero amount and just the same as earlier when we register. So just keep that in mind. So the next one is how to point or use Freenom domain to your web hosting. So it should be the same. Let's go to the My Domains. So we want to go to My Domains and go here to the settings, manage domain here, and go to the name servers. So whatever, if your hosting provider provides you an IP, usually you will get a server IP when you register, when you bought, or I mean, when you buy a server or a VPS. But if you're registering via the shared hosting, or if you're buying a shared hosting account, you will be provided with a name server. So you just go there, just go here and keep a record or get your name server from your hosting provider, just add it here. So the same thing earlier, you can just do that here. For example, like that. So we will probably use this name server from my server. So save it. So this should be the name server from your hosting provider. So you just add it here and wait for it to propagate. So let's go and check it out here in the dnschecker.org. So let's go here. So it's still not showing, but it should show. So as you can see, it's already ready on the Switzerland, also in the New Zealand, Turkey, Pakistan. So let's just wait for a bit, and I'll just post this video and I will get back to you when it's ready so that we can go to my hosting provider and manage the domain there. So back to the video. So as you can see here, guys, most of the region here is already pointing to the right um, name server that is um, that is from my server. So you can I already registered the this domain into my server, and if you don't have a server and you're only using a shared hosting account, so or maybe you it's your first time to register a hosting account, so usually you want to let's say you will be using Namecheap. So I'll put the link in the description below. So when you go to Namecheap and buy a hosting account, go to the shared hosting here. So I recommend you to use I believe they provide you with cPanel, which is what I recommend. So if you're not yet if you don't have the budget to use a server, so this should be fine for the most basic websites. So here you can um, select any of these plans here, and I would recommend you to use the Stellar Plus because it's unlimited. So the domain name here. So if you buy an annual hosting plan, you can get a free domain, which means that you don't need the Freenom free domain anymore, and unlimited website, so you can host unlimited domains, and it's unmetered SSD and unlimited domain based mailbox, and there's also an auto backup, so this should be fine. It renews 68.88 per year. You pay for the first year 34.88, so it should be cheap. But of course, I still do recommend to use a server if you're serious about making money online with your website or a blog. Then, but for this should be fine when you're still getting started and you want an easy way to manage your site because they're providing cPanel and they're very cheap. So if you want to just use the per monthly basis, then I believe you can select the monthly here, and this is the price of their monthly plan. So if you buy a yearly or a 2 years plan, it is much cheaper. So I would recommend you to probably just do monthly. So in case you don't like the service, then you can just cancel that one. And I do have a lot of free hosting um, method that you can use on my channel. Just search for that, and I will also be creating a lot of tutorials with in a couple of days to do that. But this is just a demonstration how you can register and point your free domain from Freenom, which is we will be um, I will demonstrate to you how you can do that within Namecheap. So of course, the first for this question, how to point or use your free domain to your web hosting. So this phrase here, to my understanding, this is something that you will be pointing to a first, or when you're still, if you don't have an existing web hosting. So if you if you don't have an existing web hosting, so let's say for example we register through this plan here, and as you can see they provide an option where you can register for a new domain name because you don't have a domain name. But since in our case we already have a domain name from Freenom, which is free, so you want to select the existing domain name. So that's how you can point your Freenom. That's just it's really simple, you know. That's just how you can point it out. So, and of course, later on they will then provide you with the Namecheap name servers. Then um, this is where you can this is how you can then apply to you can replace or you can add the name servers from Namecheap or any other web hosting provider you will be using. You can add it here, the custom name servers, save it, and that's I believe done for you. So of course you need to wait for it to propagate, the same thing that I did here, which I've added it into my server. So yeah, that's it. So just select the existing domain, not the new domain. Existing because obviously we already have an existing one, which is this one, and just probably sign in to select the existing domain name. So what do you call that one? New domain. New domain name valid. Okay. So sign in. So in Namecheap, they want you to sign in. Okay, so I do have if you want to learn more about this to proceed on this tutorial here with Namecheap, I do have a tutorial about Namecheap. It should be just the same. It's a tutorial about how to buy a domain name from Namecheap, but it should be the same method when you buy a hosting account. So it's just the same. You just if you don't have an existing account, then you can create one and then just blah blah blah, just register, just pay for that, and that's it. So again, if you're not familiar with Namecheap, you can go here to my channel, find my find the this one, this tutorial here. So maybe you can just search it on my channel to have Namecheap. Then it should show you how you can um, buy a domain name or any other services from Namecheap. They are just the same way or the same method to do that. So yeah, that's how you can add or point your Freenom domain to a new web hosting account. So if you already have an existing web hosting, what you can do is you can use the add-on domain to add your Freenom domain. So I will show you how you can do that inside my cPanel. So um, I am using a cPanel and I already have registered the the Freenom domain that we've created earlier, or we have bought earlier for free from Freenom. So this is the default one. So it's already here. So if you already have an existing web hosting, most of the time it's not this should be a different domain, because when you register an account from shared hosting, if you're using a shared hosting, you will be prompted to add a domain name, whether it is a new one you will buy from the web hosting provider, or the same thing that I've shown you earlier, to just point your existing domain from Freenom to your web hosting. So whatever you do, from the registration process, whatever domain that you've selected there, you have added there, it will show here. So that will be the what do you call that? The default user, the default domain that will show here in your hosting account. So I'm using cPanel, so this is the one. So once you already have a hosting account, and you want to add your new Freenom domain, which is not here, which is not yet added to your hosting. So you can do that by, of course, just copy your Freenom free domain, and then just go to find somewhere in your hosting account. I am using cPanel, and it should be just the same with other hosting provider or hosting control panel, because cPanel is the most popular and the best cPanel that I know, the easiest one, the most powerful one, which is why some other control panels that are new or that are competing with cPanel, um, they copy most of the features of cPanel. So it should show, you should be able to um, find add-on domains or any other way to add domains from the control panel. If you're not familiar, or if you're not using cPanel and if you can't find an add-on domain there, just contact your provider and they should be able to assist you with that. Or else you can go to my um, community forums. You can find the link in the description below. You can open a thread there and show me a screenshot of your control panel, or maybe you can just add enough details so that I can help you out when I can. So back to the tutorial. So just select the add-on domain here, and then make sure you already have copied the what do you call that, the domain from your Freenom account, and just click on the any other empty space here, and it should automatically populate um, the details here. Just for this subdomain here, you can just if you're using cPanel, you can just what do you call this, disregard this, and here this is the root, so document root. So you can change this to whatever you want, but I always just keep it as is. So you can also create an FTP account for this new add-on domain. Add the password there, or you can just leave it as is. So that you can just use the same FTP credentials with your default domain, but I would suggest you add here password as well. You create a different FTP, but for the sake of this tutorial, I will not do that. So just add the domain here. Excuse me. Just add a domain and it should be good to go. So since this account, the cPanel account that I'm using is already, the domain is already existing. So what I will do is I will use um, probably a different extension, which is Mavix.cf instead, so that I can show you how it looks like when you add a domain. Because it should show an error if I add a domain and it's not oh no. So since that is not a it's showing an error because the domain that I added here earlier, that domain is not pointing to the DNS of my server, which because that's a fake. So I'm not sure how I can show you. I want to show you, but maybe let me let me probably recreate this account and use a different default one. So let me post this first and set up the new account, and I'll show you how you can add the domain. So now guys, I have set up a new cPanel account. So let's go back and find the add-on domain here, and make sure guys, if you add a new domain or use the add-on domain, make sure that your what do you call this, your new domain that you will be adding is already pointed to your server's name server or your hosting provider's name server, which is why we added here this one, the custom name server. Make sure it is already pointed and it's already okay here, because it will show the error from what you've what we what it what I mean what showed earlier. What do you call that one? What prompted earlier. So yeah, and then so just select this. Maybe I'll just add that one so that it won't be um, it won't conflict to the other subdomain that is already there. So just do that one and add it. So here, as you can see, the add-on domain Mavericks.tk has been created. So that's how you can add. Just go here. This is the file manager for that domain. So as you can see, the document root is there. This is the domain. So if you go to the what do you call this, the domain, so it will show indexof. So it means that it's successfully been pointed to your existing hosting account, and you can then proceed to install WordPress. So let's probably go try to install WordPress though. Let me show you how you can do that. So we forgot to change the domain. So let's go back here. .tk maybe. Let's do that one. So it's already been installed on the right domain. So let's go ahead and click on that. Oops, it's not showing. What's wrong here? I think this is because of the, so yes. So that is because of the, what do you call that one? The cache. So I added a question mark. So as you can see, let me show you instead. So earlier, so if you think if you're expecting a different reflection of your site, it's not showing the changes, just add a question mark after the domain. You can do this, or maybe just do that one. Add or any other, after the question mark, just add any other characters so that it can clear the cache and show the right changes on your website. Because I'm using Nginx reverse proxy, that's why it's probably not working when I open it up earlier. So as you can see, this is the free domain name from Freenom, and it is pointing to my server. So as you can see here. So yeah, so the next thing is, now we're done with these two actually. So how to contact support and are they reliable? So let's first go to the Freenom account. Let's go here. So to contact support, of course you have it here. Their knowledge base. Let me see here. I believe you can. Let me show here. Knowledge base. Oh, that's why probably it's not showing the submit ticket, because we already been logged out. So just do know that, guys, that if you're logged into your Freenom account and you're not doing an activity for probably 15 minutes or so, they will automatically log you out, and you might get confused why you can't access other services. So yeah, let me show you. So this is their contact here. How to contact Freenom. Freenom welcomes you. So they do have an email, and you can also what do you call this? You can also call them. I did contacted them before when I got an issue with when I tried to transfer a domain name and also emailed them. It's been actually there has been a changes because before they do have a ticket system, so you can contact them via ticket, but probably it's either they have already changed their support system, or you cannot contact them when you're only using or when you only have a free account or free domains or free services. Um, yeah, I believe. So if you're probably you can, or else they already have changed their contact system, which is I don't like, because you can't actually have an I like the way that you do it via a ticket system, because you have all of the records if they already have replied to yours. So, and it's very difficult to manage them within your emails. But yeah, based on my experience a long time ago, maybe the last time I've contacted Freenom, it's via a ticket, and I've also tried to contact them via telephone using Skype or Viber, I believe. They did answered me. So if you have an emergency, you can contact them. And for the email, I did also contact them because they had some. There was a time before that when I contacted them via their ticket system, they did not reply to me for for a few days, which is not usual because mostly they reply to you within 24 hours. So when that happened to me, um, I contacted them via email, and they replied to me within, I believe, 2 days, and that's why after that I've called them instead. So yeah, that's how it is for contacting Freenom. But maybe I'll try to check out my other. Let me see here. Don't know why they're not. They probably have changed their contacting system. But let me probably check out my main account here. So yeah, as you can see, this is my main account, and you can open a ticket. They still have their ticket system, but only for those users that has a paid service. So as you can see, you can open a ticket here. You can contact them, and here's a few of my tickets. It's a lot of them here. So as you can see, I do have a few Freenom account active to them. So yeah, so I believe we've already answered this one. Are they reliable? For me, if you're a newbie, if you're a new in the internet world, website thing or so, I would recommend you to use Namecheap, Namesilo, or Pork Bun. The cheapest one is Pork Bun, but the most responsive is Namesilo and Namecheap. I personally would recommend Namesilo. I'll put a link in the description, or Namecheap. Namecheap to respond to you a bit faster, but I'm not sure though when I do contact them before, um, I mean, related to technical support, their support is not that knowledgeable. But with Name Silo, they are very techy. They know how to manage everything. They are very responsive. If you have features that you request, they will also update you. That's what I like with Name Silo. But if you're only asking support for basic things, um, most of the time Namecheap is okay. But Namesilo is cheaper compared to Namecheap, and the cheapest one is Pork Bun. I will create more tutorials about all these providers. Um, I've been with these providers because of my experience doing reseller hosting business in the past, which is why I can assure you, or I mean, I can talk about them um, based on my own personal experience. So yes, so back to the really reliability of Freenom. They are they do respond, but before they quickly respond. I'm not sure today because um, I did not contacted them anymore because their service is okay. There's no issue with their services, so that's why it's okay. Their .NET domain, I recommend you to use Freenom because um, their .NET domain is the cheapest to my experience. And the only thing I want you to know is they do charge you with an extra, what do you call this, a merchant fee. So for example, if you use PayPal, they will charge you with a fee. Let me check here. They will charge you with a PayPal fee, 4%, I believe. It's not showing here, but I believe it will show you. I forgot where is that. But when you register, let me show you here instead. Check out. Oh, it's not showing here. Anyways, they do have hidden fees for the merchant fees. The only one that they don't charge is, I believe, bank transfer. For the cards, they charge you with 4%, the same with PayPal, but they do show you um, while you're checking out. So yeah, that's it. But I think it's still the cheapest when it comes to the .NET domain. That's why when I renew, when I most of my .NET domains are on Namecheap. I mean, sorry, Freenom. So back to the reliability once again. If you're new, I wouldn't recommend you to use Freenom because their support is not for newbies. But if you're and I will instead recommend you to use either Namecheap or Namesilo. The link is in the description. It's not just because I do have an affiliate link with them. For pork bun, they I don't have, but I still recommend pork bun. The only thing with pork bun is that they are not that responsive. I mean, they do respond, but it takes 24 hours. So if you're a newbie, then you need a provider that will respond to you in within minutes, within 5 to an hour. 1 hour is a bit too long already. So that's why I recommend you to use Namecheap um, first and then Namesilo if you don't like Namecheap because it has higher price than Namesilo. So yeah, that's it for this um, question. So also for would you use a free domain from Freenom? Okay, so for the free domain, I would use a free domain from Freenom for testing purposes. Um, or maybe if you're a blogger, you want to use just a hobby or just the same thing, just for maybe a case study or a test project. You can use this one for a test project only. I don't recommend this for a serious project that you will be exerting a lot of time and effort for. Maybe for a test project or a case study, it should be fine because once once you use Freenom domain, you don't own the domain. Freenom does. So when they decided to um, charge you for a fee, especially when your domain gets um, a little bit of if it becomes valuable to them, um, maybe you get a lot of traffic and earning from your free domain, and they realize that, then they might charge you a higher price to renew your domain, or they might decide to charge you for using the free domain. We really don't know. You can probably just check out the terms and condition about their free domain, but I wouldn't trust any any provider that is providing you with a free service. Um, especially if they don't, especially if the terms of service of their free domain. As you can see, if you read this one, this is the standard way of registration. It's a free service. You need to have a website homepage and web page. Oh, okay. I forgot to tell you as well. If you're using this a free domain, um, Freenom, if they found out that you're not using the free domain with a website or a homepage, or it's not what do you call that? It's not hosting a web page, they have the right to suspend your domain name. Okay. And existing web address or capability of setting up your own website server with content. So with content, that means a website or a blog or whatsoever. Every internet user who surfs to your free domain address will automatically go to the website address you have registered. So they don't want you to also use your free domain to just redirect to another domain. You can change your website address anytime to redirect to your users to a different you can change your website address anytime to redirect your users to a different website. You can change. Every internet user who surfs to your free domain address will automatically go to the website address you have registered. You can change your I'm a bit confused here, but maybe erase the earlier context. You can use, but the most important here is you need to have a website or homepage or a web page online on an existing website or web address, or the capability of setting up your own website with content. So this is the most important one. When you use a free domain from Freenom, they're saying that it has to have a content and online, meaning you have to have a web page within the domain, or else they might suspend that domain name. You can change your registration agreement free domain. So here is the registration agreement. Next to the terms and condition, you can just download this one and proceed on um, reading this out, the document, to learn more about the terms and conditions of the free domains. Next to the terms and conditions of free domains, free domain name registers are subject to content policies set out by the top level. Please find the content policies below. So here are the other content policies by different extensions. So if you're using .tk, .cf, so you should check out the policies from their region, or from the extension owners. So let's say if they don't want you to add a spam base, or maybe any other illegal stuff within your website using this domain, then, or maybe use it for spam. uh, I believe that's one of their policies. So make sure to check it out, check all this out if you're planning to use this free domain seriously. But honestly, based on my personal experience, I didn't have an issue. I haven't yet experienced an issue with using their free domains, use um, even if I did not use the free domains with a website. I still have those domains. I'm still able to renew them. I am using them most of the time for testing hosting services before, and tutorials, and yeah. So that should be my take for this. So as mentioned earlier, it should be fine to use a free domain from Freenom, but I highly recommend you to just um, use it for testing purposes. For But if you're planning to use it for a business gener I mean earning generating website, um, I would highly recommend you to instead use a paid domain, even the cheapest ones, the xyz.xyz, which is available from all the providers that I've mentioned in this video, which is a Namecheap, NameSilo, or Porkbun. The links is in the description. If you want to learn more how you can buy a domain from Namecheap, I do have a tutorial for that. You can check this out here. If you're new, you can use Namecheap. They are the most responsive of all the providers, especially when you're new. I recommend Namecheap, and the next one is NameSilo, and then Porkbun. If you're already an intermediate webmaster or internet user, then Porkbun is for you, and then NameSilo to Namecheap. But if you're still new, then go to Namecheap, and then when you're already a bit of an expert, NameSilo and then Porkbun. So yeah, that's it for this video. If I miss anything else, please do comment down below. And if you need support related to this tutorial earlier, kindly contact me through my community forums, which is community.mawix.com. So once again, thank you for watching this video. And also, I also want you to check out my Make Money Online free course. You can check it out within my channel and just go to the playlist, and let me show you instead. Go to YouTube/Mawix and go to go to the playlist here. So go to the playlist, or you can just go to the home button instead. It should show here the first video, but if you want to check all of them, then you can just play here and just check it out for yourself. This free course is yet to be updated. Some of them are, I might need to update this. These are TTS, and some of them I might be upgrading later on once I'm done with all the modules that I'm working on for this free course. This is a free course, but I can assure you that the value of this free course is way better than those paid courses that you might have encountered, or you might have paid in the past. I will be sharing all of the things that you really need as a serious business owner on the web. I will show you all the updated passive income streams and the most reliable tools to use, like for example, hosting your website to the cheapest provider that you can use. Also, From time to time, I will also share some tips on my channel. Let's say, for example, free hosting. This is a reliable hosting, not the hosting that are just for testing. Um, but I welcome you to subscribe to my channel and see you in the next video. So once again, if you need support, just go to my forums community.mawix.com.